Chainlink price update for Tuesday, September 9th. We're going to look at the 2-week chart first, and then we'll zoom in to the shorter time frames and see what the lack of action is all about. We're flat on the day as of right now. Look at that, 0, 0, 0. $23 of Chainlink, right? We're at a 2-week chart. We don't often look at this, but why are we pointing this out? Well, our most bullish move, arguably, right, towards the beginning of the year here, where we did just over a 3x, 200% move from low to high before we cooled off about 30% with a wick from high to low, and all the while holding above the 2-week EMA 8, right, the red line. Okay, so we have another big move, right, back to range highs again above the EMA 8. Pretty nice move, a little bit less this time, but that's where we need to hold the line for the macro to hold, and that's coincidentally about 30% as well. If we're rhyming with our W that we've been looking at for a couple weeks now, we have the W pattern here. Well, from our range highs, we went back to the EMA 8, and then we have the inverse of this, right? We've looked at this many times if you've been watching, right? So this move here, we're looking for some kind of similar move over here, right? So just noting that on the 2-week, the EMA 8 is right around $20, right? Previous range high candle close as well. Range low closes over here. $20 is kind of the line. Let's zoom into the weekly just briefly here. You can see the little bit more definition of that W, right? And we're now back to the weekly EMA 8 where we've breached it over here a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if we come down a little bit lower. But, right just south of the $20 mark is the 21 EMA. So we want to be eyeballing that for support in the weeks ahead. If we look at the monthly, right, we've done almost nothing on the monthly so far. Look how the smallest candle in Chainlink's history so far, right? We still have plenty of time left, but noting what's left in the month is likely going to be a lot more volatility, maybe both directions, right? So look at that compared to last month, the month before. I mean, all of these, from with the wicks included, we've done literally nothing this month. So very quiet first week for September for Chainlink. Okay, now let's zoom way in on the daily and see if we can maybe identify what the hell's going on here. So looking at random lines on charts, we have still resistance day over day all this week, majority of last week, where we just kind of plummeted under this 21 EMA, and we've kind of loosely flipped this as resistance from support back here, right? You see how that yellow 21 is doing that even as of today, right? That's where you can lose a lot of momentum, and we're seeing the result of that, right? The monthly candle's done pretty much nothing since the start of September for 9 days now, and this is likely why, right? Going back to the start of the month where we slipped below it, right? We closed out August right under it, and we've kind of just been slipping on the ice ever since. So if we want to gain some traction, like where do you think we're going to look at? Right, we've got to flip this back to support, which is around 23, certainly 20, anything above 24 to take out this high. We start seeing price action above 24, right? That's not a tall ask here, folks, right? We've already seen it knocking on the door today even. We just got to close up there, take out this high, hold that as support, and then we can continue on, right? The bulls are back. But until then, right, we are in a local downtrend since August 22nd, our high there. Lower high again on August 28th at $25. Another lower high at $23.60. Last Wednesday, and we've just been considerably continuing that trend. Lower highs, lower lows. So to break it, first step, take out the high. Second step, make a higher low, which we still haven't done, right? We're still putting in lower lows. So slow process, but what we want to kind of end up seeing is just a general slow upbeat trend, and then before you know it, like we're flipping 24, right? This is when everything takes off again. It doesn't have to take forever, folks, right? Remember, September 17th, at this nice straight line over here, is Jerome Powell's, rate cut, the Fed's rate cut decision, which I highly anticipate a rate cut at this point. And maybe surprise or two. Maybe a deeper cut than most are anticipating. Maybe not just the quarter cut that's typical. So maybe that would fuel it, right? So we need to eyeball, keep this going. We're doing daily Chainlink updates. So if you're new here, right, check out all the other videos we've been posting to see what the backstory is on Mr. Link here. So Gaussian channel, we're still above it. And notably, where we started out on that 2-week, check this out, right? If we fall down to that $28 area on the 2-week chart, the 2-week Gaussian channel is also right there at the, just south of the $20 level at the EMA 8. So $20 is, been history for Chainlink for 5 years at least, right? Okay, if you want to go into the 4-hour, like what are we going to look at between now and tomorrow when we talk? Well, Gaussian channel, we've still been trapped here, although the bulls are starting to open an eye or two, right? You can see how the color changed there. But that was a pretty quick eye open and eye shut. We've come right back down under the median Gaussian channel here on the 4-hour, and we just are unable to gain traction here. So between now and the next video we release on YouTube tomorrow, if we come down further, well, you see this line right here. That's the 200 EMA, bottom of the Gaussian channel, which is around 2250. We'd like to hold that, maintain a higher low, and then we get that kind of rounding bottom formation, perhaps, that we're just looking for something. Like, throw us a line here to stop the bleed of the downhill, right? We're trying, even today, right? We tried. We got up, turned some candles fluorescent green. Next step, take out that 2370 between now and 24 hours from now, maybe, but unlikely because we're flat as hell. And looking at that monthly candle, we are just pancake flat. So pretty boring, market wide, right? We need some fuel to the fire, but probably going to remain relatively calm here between now and a week from now before Jerome Powell. I think the markets are kind of waiting on how, to see what that's revealed. I think there's some grammar needed in that sentence, but that's where we are. So hopefully you found it a little bit helpful here and put your nerves at ease in your questioning. I'll see you back on the next one. Get to our quote and car of the day. Give me a lever long enough and a fulcrum on which to place it, and I shall move the world. Pretty famous quote. If you haven't heard that by now, you're 12. Hopefully. Hopefully you've heard that before. Okay, so Aston Martin DBX 707. This is the special edition, the 707. So this is why the price tag's a little steeper. You can find the non-707s, the non-special editions, for considerably less, about half of that price. But I mean, if you're gonna throw down on a supercar SUV, why not go all out? Chainlink blue, we'll go with it. It's blue, and even when I'm not fully wearing flat, I still have blue. It's blue everywhere. Yellow flowers. We think we need to flip those. I think, where the hell am I at here? There we go. I need to get those flowers blue, I think. All right, there we go. 707. The best looking SUV in my books. I like this better than the Lambo Urus or the Ferrari Purosangue. I think if I had to pick an SUV, and you had to pick one, I'd pick this over. I know this is cheaper than the Rolls-Royce Cullinan, but I think this is my pick. Maybe this same spec right here. I like the yellow brakes too. Anybody picking anything else? Maybe the Lambo. I mean, the Lambo Urus does sound pretty good. This is pretty nice too. Might be the fastest one. Honestly, the 707 version. A lot of carbon. I love quality stuff. Look at that. The speaker integrated there, another speaker there. Got like the mid-range and maybe the tweeter up there. Great looking door. And look, you got hand stitching high and low. When is the last car you've seen with that? That's pretty impressive. Two-tone. It's like dark blue stripes stitched in there around the outside. Logo in the headrests. Great family car. All right, there we go. For 300K, it can be yours. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.